Okay, well, I'll just start talking here. I was thinking about preparing notes, but why bother? I can just re-record until I get it right, right? Um, and anyway, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm kind of creating it as I go along. I kind of wanted to have a video every once in a while where I talk to my audience, you, and I have 7 subscribers, which is really awesome. I just got 2 more within the last couple days, so thank you, whoever you are. I only can officially tell who one of them is, Woke Ass Messiah, and you should check out his channel, synthesizer music, synth jams and songs with his modular synthesis gear. Um, Woke Ass Messiah, but I also know Mrs. Random subscribed and Orbital Dave is subscribed, and there's 4 more people. So welcome. And even though it doesn't really matter, I do enjoy getting more subscribers. It's kind of a game here on YouTube. So that's one aspect, trying to get more subscribers. So there you go. Beyond that, I wanted to also revisit. I was getting into some conceptual, conceptual, spiritual, philosophical topics um, in some previous videos, and the idea of there's no separation between anything. Truly, everything's connected, and also it's hard for me to put it into words, but I seem to have gotten it okay the last couple of times. But the idea that one can sort of disengage with identifying with the circumstances and the stuff that's going on around, sensations, perceptions, and can consciously sort of, and words, you just have to see them as kind of markers, as a way to get to the concept. They're not literally true, I would say, but the idea is to take your consciousness and bring it back to the source, to what is perceiving. And every time you can sense, say, a thought or a sensation, realize that that is also part of the not, not I. You're trying to get to the I level in this thought experiment. The idea being that if you can identify with that source, that I, the subject, deeply enough, then you're also automatically connected with everybody else's subject or true self, or God, is another way to put it. And at the same time, there's nothing there. There's nothing. You keep going back and you find nothing as the subject. It's like it's a point of nothing, but it's aware. And there's this switch where you can also see everything, all the perceptions, everything, the objects, as one with the subject, that there's no real subject object difference. It's seamless. And therefore, the self is the world. The world is the self. The self and the world are God. Almost interchangeable at this level. Now, we're down here at the subject object level, and I want to give credit to another book. This is Pathways Through to Space by Franklin Merrill Wolff. Awesome book. Sort of, it deals with similar subject matter as Alan Watts's The Book on the Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are, and D.E. Harding's On Having No Head. But in a more, I think, technical, complex sense, in terms of his approach is more, it's a more complex structure. The reality is the same, simple, ultimately. But Franklin Merrill Wolff comes from abstract mathematics. Really, I think that's where his background was, and his so-called awakening, which is another kind of code word for the ability or the happening, I guess, of uniting with the subject and realizing that all is one, one is all. Um, Enlightenment, awakening, Christ consciousness, Buddha, Buddha mind. There's all kinds of terms that I believe all refer to this same thing that I'm talking about. And more modern thinkers and gurus have cut through and gotten rid of a lot of the religious and symbolic terminology and kind of cut it down to simple terms, like I guess maybe more modern psychological terms, philosophical terms. I don't know, subject, object, um, that kind of stuff. I don't know where I'm going there. Anyway, I think my next step in this meandering little thought, I wanted to add to those two concepts the everything's all together, everything's connected, and there is a point of view possible to basically see all that, experience it, identify with that level. Add to that the idea of the now moment. That the now moment is the only real moment, the only real time. Past and future do not exist. They only exist as thoughts. They don't exist as reality. And that since the only reality is the now moment, that's the only place where energy and power and action can take place. And there's a related idea that action and real power can only happen when you are in that spot where subject and object have been unified and you're beyond thought and you're just in being awareness. It's really hard to talk about this stuff. I'm really trying to talk about it. I don't know how really I'm doing, and hopefully I'm editing out a bunch of stuff just to make it a little more clear what I'm trying to say. But so we've added this kind of consciousness of the now moment, trying to stay in the now moment. So being, not doing or thinking, is the gateway to the now moment, where you always are, really, but our thoughts keep us from being aware of it and accessing the reality and hence the power and energy of the now moment. I kind of think of it, it's almost like splitting the atom. You get this infinite amount of energy if you can get into the center point of the now moment at the same time, which is identical, I believe, with this abolition of subject object consciousness, unity consciousness, I guess, which is also the awakening moment and enlightenment moment, which, as I understand, isn't like a permanent thing. Once it happens to you, you're always there. No, it's kind of like you have to have your vibration at that level in order to have that type of consciousness of the now moment and no subject object. Okay, so it's taken me a while to introduce this third thing, the now moment, to I need to have succinct terms, and so maybe I'll stop talking about that particular thing right now, since I've hopefully not completely muddied it up, but put it out there in my words, and hopefully there's something there for your brain to engage with. What else? I've got a new microphone set up for in here. My talking head set up. How do you like it? Let me know in the comments. Um, oh, my channel. I want to do these kind of videos kind of every once in a while, maybe a couple times a week, whenever I get the urge. And these kind of videos, what I mean by that is this talking head talking to you, kind of meta sort of stuff. I just uploaded a Launchpad video from our February 2 show. I'm in Launchpad with Orbital Dave and Lilu Laserlight. We played at Sam Bond's Garage on February 2 with Trouble Cuts and Hansa Go Lightly. Ed Cole of Trouble Cuts booked us, so thank you, Ed. Um, and the footage is from my Canon S120 and my friend Carl. I just handed him the camera right before the show and said, "Hey, can you take some video?" So he did, and you can tell he's interested in our gear. That's pretty funny, just looking at the footage. And it's really cool to have a record of a show that is that long. 40. I think that's the longest. Somebody has some footage of a show we did at what it was called Cornucopia, I think, and then became World Pies, and or yeah, and I'm not sure what's there now, Monroe Street Market. Anyway, thank you, Carl. And I posted that footage, and I also posted like a half hour of me painting Space Money. So I do want to post these like longer like shows and processes. Also the little short edited like film type things, or just me walking around the backyard or on a walk with my phone. I want to post that kind of stuff. So a variety of things, and just kind of find what I like to do, what feels good, what works, what people like, I suppose. Although it's not like I'm putting a survey out there like, what would you like to see me do? It's more of I just do stuff that feels good. But if you have any ideas, let me know. Uh, that might be it for now. I might come back later. Hopefully this will be heavily edited. All right. Thanks for watching.